One of the most common things that you might want to do just to your data is clip it to the extent of your study area. And here I'm showing a polygon of the Louisiana Purchase, and I want to be able to uh, see what native tribes might have been in that area of called Louisiana at the time of the purchase. So I have two data layers here. I have the Louisiana Purchase and I have the indigenous at territories. But I want to clip it so that I just have the indigenous territories that are within Louisiana. And part of the reason I want to do that is because this data set of the indigenous territories is a global data set, and it can really run slow. So I want to clip it just so that it speeds it up, and frankly, that I just have my study area shown here. So to clip this data, we come to our analysis tools and we go to the manage data toolkit. And there we're going to see that we have a tool called overlay layers. And with this tool, you can do a number of things. You can perform intersects, unions, or erases. What we're going to be doing here is an intersect. So the input features would be our indigenous territories, and our overlay feature would be the Louisiana Purchase. We would select intersect because we just want to show the areas that the two features intersect, and we want it to be a polygon, and then we name it. And I'm just going to call this Tribes LP for Louisiana Purchase. And then I'm going to click Run, and it will begin to run the tool. And this one might take a second just because the indigenous territories is a large data set. But the neat thing is, too, while we're talking about this, so I'm using the indigenous territories, which is a living atlas data layer. And so you can be using those living atlas data layers and getting them to the extent that you might want to use them, because not everything you might want is at the spatial extent that is in the living atlas. You might want it at your state level, at a county level, or whatever boundary you wish. So that's something to consider. Now that we have the new data set, now we can see exactly what tribes, and I know this is not a beautiful looking map. We would go in here and then, of course, go to styles. We would pick the field and pick the name of the tribe and so on. But I'm not going to go into a lot of uh, shenanigans to do that. But I will say that one thing that you could consider doing here, now that you have a data set that's showing the tribes, you can look at the attribute table to see exactly how many and which ones intersect that, which is quite a few, 3,200. And then if you wanted to export that, you could come to your analysis tools again, and then go to your manage data and extract data to extract that into a spreadsheet so that you have that in outside of GIS if that's something that you wish to do. So there's lots of fun things you can do with the data once you have it in the format that you wish. But that's how you clip data. Put this one away because this is going to be one that you use all the time. I think this is probably the most frequently used tool that I have that I use is clipping data to get it to the extent that I want it to be at.